Nowadays, amazing.
There we go.
But
About time. All right. Okay. Everybody come aboard. Why don't you? Let's send this link out. Copy the address. Whack. All right. I am live later than other live streams because I decided I was going to watch it. I was at the gym, actually. So, let's see. Before we do anything else, let's do... okay, boom, we'll do that. Let me make sure... Okay, yeah, good. Good. Move that over. Did that there. Now I'm just out here promoting my shit. Everybody, hop aboard. Oh, cool. That's on HBO Max. That's good. I actually want to see that. That'll probably be what I watch after I'm done with the stream. Go here. Hit that up. Go here. Hit that up. Cancel. Yeah, good. Okay, terrific. So that's already done. Everybody, make sure you share if you're on the stream right now. Share with other people, with other groups that you're in. With your Twitter wrestling community. That we are going live right now with the post Elimination Chamber stream, so we can get in and talk about this mixed bag of a pay-per-view we just saw. Just resume your purchase of the wrestling memorabilia. It's all wrestling memorabilia. All right, so get out of that. Get out of that. Come on in, like the content, share the content with everybody that you know. It's an eFed. Joined for some reason. Because I didn't know it was an eFed when I signed up for it. Alright, let's do a couple more. Streamers, I'm streaming right now. I'll do that. YouTube. Live streams is what I'm doing right now. It's not gaming. YouTube. I think that's just for gaming, but we'll... That's gaming. That's wrestling. Gaming. WWE. Twitch. Gaming. YouTube. Streamers. Gaming. YouTube. YouTube. And then we'll go from there. Is anybody here? Is anybody here in the stream that we're at right now? Hold on, let me see. Let me go to the live post, see what we got cracking. Oh, it's not showing. Go to the dashboard then. There we go. That's better. There we go. That's better. How is this the first notification, Joey? I put up a bromance video for Valentine's Day. I put up a Royal Rumble video for the Royal Rumble. How is this the first one? That's a shame. That's a sin and a shame. YouTube is not doing its job. Now, mind you, I haven't been pumping out a whole ton of videos. Let me fucking share this shit. Thank you. Just out here sharing a little bit before we get started. Also, maybe that'll help because maybe some people be floating in from other live streams, the whacker live streams that they went and saw when they should have been here in the first place. Now, mind you, I didn't promote it because I was running late. I was at the gym when the pay-per-view started, and I was like, am I going to do it? Sure, I guess. Why not? And I was like, oh, I'll catch up with it. Because these pay-per-views, WWE pay-per-views, are traditionally loaded down with way too many ads about absolutely nothing. Let's see. All kinds of streams. Perfect, because this is a stream right here. Boom. It's usually loaded with all kinds of ads that are fucking worthless. But in this instance, they were loaded with a lot of matches that were worthless and not a lot of ads. So that was fun. So it was harder for me to catch up because normally I've got no problem just skipping to my loot through all the other horseshit that they do. But this time they concentrated most of the horseshit to actual matches. So we're gonna get into that. I'll tell you what, while I'm sharing, why don't we get into some of this garbage here? Let me do this. Let me make sure I can see. Come on, phone. Phone's acting all brand new. By the way, hopefully YouTube doesn't take this thing down because my loud-ass, ghetto-ass fucking neighbors love to have their music blaring like it's like their Radio Raheem all the fucking time, which normally doesn't really bother me. But the algorithm might fuck me here. All right, so let's talk about the kickoff show. Apparently, the rumors were true. Apparently, Keith Lee was taken out of his U.S. title match, the triple threat match, for unknown reasons, unspecified reasons. And so they had a fatal four-way match to determine who was going to take his place between Elias, John Morrison, Ricochet, and Mustafa Ali with Retribution. Now, when I saw this, immediately didn't think that it would matter who the hell was inserted in the match. And as a matter of fact, they probably could have just gone on with a one-on-one match. But I suppose with how they did it and why they did it, they needed that triple threat function to keep Lashley looking strong, which makes sense. I was right that it didn't necessarily matter who they put in. This match, a lot of stuff happened with very little to no consequence. In it, Retribution got involved at the end in order to cost Mustafa Ali his match with the most devastating maneuver in all of professional wrestling. I, of course, am talking about the dreaded... can I edit that? No. Oh, details? Can I edit? I can edit the thumbnail. Cool. I, of course, am talking about the dreaded surprise roll-up. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Let's see. Lots of times I'm not paying attention. I've been dealing with trolls for the last couple of weeks. I have trolls trolling a video of mine that's 2 years old. Salud! I've got trolls that still troll the Black Guys Review Get Out video of mine. So good for you, boss. So yeah, the fucking the match was pointless. But other than to insert Johnny Morrison in it at the end of it, okay, fine, I suppose. Then we kick it off with the SmackDown Elimination Chamber. We've got Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. It's video game streaming. Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, Baron Corbin, who I forgot was in the fucking match. Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Jey Uso. And the winner gets Roman Reigns tonight! Not in the future, but they get Roman Reigns that night. Roman Reigns that night. Roman Reigns? What's Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns tonight at the pay-per-view. And I was like, all right, I suppose. But if they're deciding that they're going to do this, there's only one way they can do this. And it turns out they decided that they were going to do this horseshit idea, but they did the horseshit idea properly. I'll give them credit for that. They did the horseshit idea, but they did it properly for the most part. This match was particularly slow. Let's see. Though they blew that. Also, here's the other part. So they inserted, so whoever wins this match, essentially is a qualifier match. You have to go through this gauntlet of things, of obstacles before you get to the champion. Well, we literally just saw this with the Fatal 4-Way match for the spot to get into the fucking U.S. Championship match. We literally just saw this. So it brings a little bit of bloom off the rose to do it twice in the same show, particularly so close together. It fucks it up a little bit. It fucks it up just a bit. But okay, fine. I suppose they decided they were going to do it. This match, it started out, I did not like the beginning of this match. I did not like most of this match, as a matter of fact. At all. Let's see. What happened here? I early on said Jey Uso should be the last one into the match, and Kevin Owens should have been first. They got that part half right. Jey Uso was the last guy to enter into the match, which was, the smart thing to do. He didn't win, which, okay, fine, I suppose. That's a story that you're going to tell. And that also gives Roman Reigns a reason to be mad at his cousin again. But, okay, fine. So, Kevin Owens wasn't the first one in. It was kind of boring. It starts to pick up just before Jey Uso enters, though. Here's the big issue, or one of the big issues with this. And it really just, what it really did was it really just exposed the issues that there is with a match like this, and or particularly with Kevin Owens as being involved in this matchup. Kevin Owens is not a good face. He's not a good... Kevin Owens is not a good face. He's not a good baby face at all. I don't like Kevin Owens as a baby face. And there's a reason why he's not a particularly good baby face when he gets exposed, or when he hits the flurry of stunners. It wasn't good. And again, that match was particularly boring. Yada, yada, yada. Not excited for the Stutter Flurry, but the Uso Flurry. Here's where the match really picks up. When Uso locks Kevin Owens' arm in the door and kicks the hell out of his face. That was good. That was the high part of that entire match. That was good heel work on Jay's part. He didn't even need to hit that splash at the end of it. He could have won with all those kicks that he caught Kevin Owens flush to the face with, is what he really could have done. But fine, good. Just doing a little bit more still advertising here. That was good. The kick flurry was good. Uso eliminates Cesaro with good heel timing as he had Bryan in the leg hold. So we got a lot of Daniel Bryan and Cesaro, which was good, or is a good idea on paper. I think they could have executed it better, particularly in this match. And here's why. We didn't need all that Baron Corbin in this match. I am a big proponent of the less Baron Corbin we get to see, the better. We got to see a lot of Baron Corbin in this match. And he's boring as all get out. And he just took up a whole bunch of time and wasn't necessary. And this was the biggest, one of the biggest. One combining issue that both Elimination Chamber matches had was, honestly, too large a gap between eliminations. Like, everybody holding on to the very, very end. How about we get, a good, it doesn't even have to take, and by the way, WWE has forgotten how to do that without a surprise roll-up. You know how you do that without a surprise roll-up? You have a guy hit their finisher, or you have a guy hit their finisher against the steel. Duh! That's how you do it. And you do it in a dramatic way, or you have a couple of guys hit their finisher on one guy. Fine. Take them out. So we could have had less space in between the eliminations, honestly, if you're asking me, and you are, because you're here on my stream. But eventually, and that would have left more space for Daniel Bryan and Cesaro. And honestly, that's really what this match was missing. So if you had me book this match, Kevin Owens starts it, Usos at the end, or Kevin Owens is the first one out of the pod at least. Even if he doesn't start it, he's out of the pod at least as the first one. Usos at the very end. We get rid of Baron Corbin as soon as humanly possible. They do the KO and Zayn, hey, let's align thing that they did. Okay, fine, that's fine. Get rid of all those fucking stunners. Matter of fact, somebody tell Kevin Owens to stop doing that shit. It just looks terrible. And he's supposed to be a good guy. I'm supposed to like seeing him do shit. And his stunners look like garbage. So other than that, you pretty much have the same thing happen. But instead, what you do is you have Cesaro and Daniel Bryan do the psychologically smart thing and start weeding out the other opponents. Maybe, they start off the match, right? Then Kevin Owens comes in. Maybe Kevin Owens sticks around for a while. Baron Corbin comes in. You eliminate Baron Corbin relatively quickly. And then these two start looking at each other again. Then maybe have KO come back in after that. After he's been incapacitated for a while, you have him come back in and try to break it up. And then he gets eliminated by these two. And again, it's these two wrestlers that are trying to out-wrestle each other, but they keep getting interrupted by that stupid buzzer. And then in comes, who's left? Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn wants to let him wrestle. Sami Zayn's trying to be smart. Sami Zayn doesn't want to get involved, and they actually did that. The best part outside of that kick flurry was Sami Zayn's heel work, his character work that he was doing in this match, which was very, very good. But have him not trying to get involved, and maybe keep him not involved until the very end. Keep the focus on Daniel Bryan and Cesaro doing their thing. Give them more time to flourish, more time to showcase what they can do, kind of like what they did for Kofi Kingston a couple years ago. Have them showcase what they can do in a match against each other and then have to deal with these distractions. Maybe have Sami Zayn and Jey Uso deal with these distractions, deal with each other for a while or whatever. And then the final breakdown becomes what it was in the end. Jey Uso versus Daniel Bryan, right? You give you put the carrot in front of the people that maybe Daniel Bryan will do it, maybe Jey Uso will cut him off, etc., etc. The end, you get the end. Daniel Bryan gets the win, just like we had here in this match. Another part that bothered me was they were trying to get over that Daniel Bryan's knee was injured. How injured Daniel Bryan's knee is. Except he kept doing, and they did this in the Fatal 4-Way match too. He kept doing shit that he wouldn't be able to do if his knee was really injured. He kept running. He ends it with a running knee. What happened to selling? If you're, like they did it in the Fatal 4-Way with Ricochet. If your leg is really busted, you're not running and jumping. Certainly not as well as you normally do, like nothing ever affected it. Hobble. You're not running fast. Hobble if you run at all. Take too long to get up to the top rope if you decide to go up to the top rope. Have the announcer say, why is he going up to the top rope with a busted leg? What's he think he's doing? You know what I mean? Do that. Exemplify that. Show us that his leg really is being worked on. instead of just telling us over and over again, and then he fucking does the same shit he would do if his leg wasn't hurt, the exact same way he would do it if his leg wasn't hurt. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. So, again, this goes back. I have been saying this. I have been yelling, screaming, complaining, jumping up and down about this at the very least since Survivor Series. But it's been happening before then. WWE is shit when it comes to details. They are slipping on their pimping when it comes to details. You understand? They used to be the worldwide force in details and sports entertainment. That's how you become the worldwide force in sports entertainment. Details. Somebody in the back is not paying attention to these fucking details and not telling these people about their fucking details. They need to. Even Daniel Bryan, I don't care how long you've been in this business, sometimes you need a refresher. And Daniel Bryan and Ricochet were the two outstanding guys who had their knees worked on in a match, but then didn't show it later on in the match. For fuck's sake. It's very simple. But okay, fine. Daniel Bryan wins with a running knee despite his knee being quote-unquote broken. And they did this garbage angle justice. I said, if you're going to do this, Roman Reigns needs to come out right now. And sure as shit, Roman Reigns came out right then. Then, the next step was, okay, if you're going to do this, Roman Reigns needs to win in a walk. Roman Reigns needs to go out there and he needs to, if he's gonna hit any offense, he needs to beat the shit out of Daniel Bryan and walk away fast. Sure as shit. Roman comes in, goes for the spear. Daniel Bryan reverses it into the yes lock. I'll accept that. Acceptable. Very well done. Very well pulled off. Then you have Roman Reigns showing his strength, showing why he's the dog, and powering his, just taking Daniel Bryan's childlike B+ player hand away from his face and powering out of the yes lock. Okay, fine. And getting pissed off at him. How dare you? How fucking dare you put me in your submission hold and dare to try to step up to the head of the table? To the tribal chief? Did you really try to submit the tribal motherfucking chief? I was offended for him. As I should. Where is he? Where's my tribal chief? Here's my tribal chief. I was offended for you, tribal chief. I was offended for you. How dare you? I should have had this out the entire time while we're talking about a Roman Reigns match. He's the head of the damn table. So anyway, beats him up, yada, yada, yada. Choke out, fantastic. Short match after an elimination chamber. That's exactly what it should have been, because here's the thing. If you insist on having these pay-per-views and you insist on trying to get over how dangerous the Elimination Chamber is, even though it's more padded now than a bouncy house, at least get the virtue of the Elimination Chamber over so that after you have a match like that, you can't possibly compete in a full-on match. Fine. Then we had Roman Reigns celebrating, as he should. Tribal Chief putting food on his table, on his family's table, the entire family's table, even Jey Uso's, even though he really doesn't deserve it right now. And then Edge came in out of nowhere and hit Roman Reigns with the running hug. Because, oh my gosh. So here's something I have to talk about. Since we're here. Since we're on the subject. And actually, hold on. Kobe Covington. I got to talk to Kobe here. Kobe put in a couple of notes. This doesn't make any sense because Drew versus Sheamus was the build-up. Reigns can't lose yet. He's too strong. This is the toughest year to guess the matches for Mania. Not entirely. Not entirely. But kind of, sort of. Let's talk about this. There are two things. There are two really, really stupid opinions that are permeating throughout wrestling Facebook, at least Facebook. I don't know about wrestling Twitter, but there are two incredibly dumb fucking ideas. Two incredibly stupid fucking markish ideas that are running around in the world of wrestling Facebook. Two of the dumbest fucking combination of thoughts and words and syllables cobbled together in the history of our great sport. The first is that we'll talk about right now, that Edge's spear is devastating. Oh, it's the best spear in the business. What are you talking? Oh, Edge's spear? Oh, legendary. God, remember Edge's spear? I remember Edge's spear off the ladder. Oh man, I remember off the ladder. Remember Edge's spear in the flaming table? I remember flaming table. You remember? Yeah, I remember. How dumb are you? This calls for callback. If you're not black, you may not know this, but Cole, you stupid. Edge's running hug has never, in the history of Everdom, been impressive. Ever. The only examples of Edge's spear not looking like complete shit was thanks to him doing it off a ladder, or thanks to him doing it through a flaming fucking table. That's it. That's it. Those are the only times. Those are the only two times Edge's spear has not looked like complete shit. Oh, remember when he speared an ECW? Yeah, that looked like complete shit too. And the only reason the table broke was because he wore a helmet while he was doing it. Get the fuck out of here. The two key components for a spear that make a spear, two of the three. The third one is the guy taking it, and how they take it. But the two key components for a person doing the spear is the size of the person and the speed that they catch while they're doing the spear. Edge had neither. He was never that fast. Ever. Ever. The fastest Edge ever was in his promo video when he was the "you think you know me" guy. That's the fastest he ever was. And you know why he was fast? Because they chopped and sped up the footage. That's why he was fast. That's the fastest he's ever been ever. Second, he's never had size. Edge has never had size. Edge, even when Edge was on the shit, he was never that big. Edge was always kind of a skinny guy with some kind of muscle, which is part of the reason why Edge kept being injury prone. Because he didn't have enough muscle or size or grit or fucking tendon strength or whatever the fuck, or bone marrow or whatever the fuck, to stay off the goddamn shelf. And I like Edge. I like the majority of Edge's career. But honesty is honesty. Edge was never that big and he was never that fast. And those are the two key components to a spear. And anybody who's sitting there and saying, oh, Edge's spear is the best in the business, is a mark. Because WWE is once again telling you to enjoy Edge's spear. You know, that thing that helped contribute to the deterioration of his neck, yet he kept doing it over and over and over again, despite how shitty that shit looked? Yeah, that shit. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, people are complaining about Edge doing the spear badly on SmackDown. It's safer, you guys. It's safer. You know what would be even safer? Not doing it. Not doing it. If there's a move that you can't do without injuring yourself or the other person, you stop doing it. You should stop doing it. You should stop doing it. Anyone worth their salt should tell you to stop doing it. But WWE has a history of not doing this, to the detriment of their wrestlers. They have a history of not doing this. Let's start with D'Lo Brown. No one ever told D'Lo Brown to take that running powerbomb out of his repertoire. Despite the fact that D'Lo Brown had an extensive repertoire, that running powerbomb wasn't his finisher, and he had a history of having trouble getting guys up for it, including but not limited to X-Pac, who was one of the smaller guys on the roster at 212 build pounds, and he probably didn't even break 200. So they have a history of telling, and what happened there? Droz is still in a fucking wheelchair because nobody told him to stop. Billy Kidman kept breaking people's shit with his shitty looking shooting star press that WWE kept telling you was the prettiest one in the business, despite the fact that he barely missed breaking his neck every time he fucking did it because he always did it too close to the goddamn ropes and kept injuring people when he did it. Yet WWE tried to put it over as the prettiest one in the business, despite the fact that he still had the BK bomb, and that would have been just fine. That would have been just dandy for a finisher for Mr. Billy Kidman. And then we have Edge. I'm not even talking about this iteration of Edge. How about we go back in time to the iteration of Edge about a year before he was forced to retire because of the constant damage to his neck? Do you remember the build-up? I remember the build-up Edge had with Y2J Chris Jericho for that WrestleMania. Jericho, everywhere you go, you're going to hear spear, 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 spear. Oh, he was forcing that down your throat so hard. And even got a couple of marks to chant spear, spear, spear to his weak-ass fucking spear. That again, the collision helped contribute to him having to retire in the first fucking place. Anyway, we're going to get Edge versus Roman at WrestleMania. And ironically enough, Michael Cole said something that actually made sense. I know, I'm just as shocked as you are. When he said that Roman told Edge, you need me to be the main event at WrestleMania, and Edge told Roman, you need me to make it to the official main event of WrestleMania. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. And that's not because of how good Edge is in this iteration or anything. What that's because of is because WWE is forcing Edge into a title picture match when he really shouldn't be in a title picture match at WrestleMania. He just shouldn't. He just shouldn't. Oh, you're just hating on him because he's old. No. Come do your comeback. Have your comeback. You know, do your reunion tour. You know, you and Christian have a couple matches leading up to whatever Mania match you want to do. Fine, whatever. Be in a match with somebody high profile who might, you know, use the rub. Like a Cesaro who might be able to actually get the most out of you. But don't clog up the title picture. Not even Cesaro, because I'd rather Cesaro be in the title picture. Don't clog up the title picture. Have your match, but don't clog up the fucking title picture. Just don't. Oh, Edge lasted 50 minutes in the Rumble. Yeah, by laying in the corner most of the time. The fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about? He laid in the corner for most of the match. Ric Flair wrestled for most of his Mania match. Or Rumble match. Edge fucking hung out in the corner. Edge hung out in the catering section of fucking of the Rumble this year. So what the fuck are we even talking about? Anyway, enough of that rant. Here's the other rant. And here's the other thing. Here's thing number 2 that the wrestling Facebook at least community, and I think the Twitter wrestling community is up in arms about this too, and they're just as wrong because they're just as stupid about this thing. Bad Bunny's on the show. And WWE talked about how Bad Bunny took the 24/7 title onto SNL. So let me get this straight. Bad Bunny took what the least most important, the absolute least most important out of what 27 fucking titles that they have on the show, and he had it on camera for SNL has their musical guests do 2 sets, so for a grand total of maybe 8 minutes total, if he did a long song on a show that nobody watches anymore because they haven't been funny in at least 5-6 years, and certainly aren't watching anymore because the election is over, and that's all the fuck SNL ever did, or Trump is gone, and that's all the fuck SNL ever talked about for the last 4 years, and they were hemorrhaging viewers when they did it then too. And yet, it probably still did a higher rating than WWE did. I need the internet wrestling community, certainly the Facebook wrestling community, and even the Twitter wrestling community, to shut the fuck up about Bad Bunny. Oh, he's going to bring in so many viewers. No, he's not. Oh, you just say that because you don't know who he is. He's big in Latin America. No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck. If you're in Latin America and you're watching wrestling regardless. And you're probably watching your local Lucha Libre show and not WWE. Maybe you're watching WWE, but you're probably watching your local Lucha show. You're probably watching AAA. You're probably not watching WWE. Oh, okay, but his Bad Bunny fans will come over. That hasn't worked really since Tyson in 98 with the build-up to Mania 14. That I can remember. I don't know, because they've tried it. They've brought other celebrities in, and those other celebrities typically don't equal ratings. They typically don't tick up the numbers like they think they will. Hell, they had an entire year or two of bringing in celebrities that did shit all. That did shit all for the ratings, and in fact, help send them down. Remember the guest GM era? Remember the guest GM era? Oh, but those are different. This is Bad Bunny. He's a Latin. That's just racist or xenophobic. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's pragmatic. Because WWE, in general, puts out a shit product and has been hemorrhaging ratings for fucking years. They're making the most money they ever have because of all these backdoor deals with NBC and Fox, etc. Good for them. Good for Stephanie McMahon for making her business degree into something and getting money for her daddy's company, despite the fact that the overall product fucking sucks. So no, Bad Bunny is not going to equal the ratings that you motherfuckers keep saying that he will. I guarantee you he didn't equal more buy rates for this shit or for the fucking network. Because he had a fucking segment backstage with Damian Priest, who's another guy who's overblown right now. And The Miz, who's a goddamn joke right now. But we'll get to him later. Gives a shit. Who gives a shit? You're fucking wrong. Oh, Bad Bunny's fit. No, he's not. No one gives a shit about Bad Bunny. No one gives a shit about Bad Bunny. No matter how hard you try. Pragmatically, no one gives a shit about Bad Bunny. The same way no one gives a shit about any other celebrities that are coming in to wrestling. Because even if they did, even if all the Bad Bunny acts, the Bad Bunny maniacs, brother, came through with flying colors. Whenever Bad Bunny's on screen, you see this huge spike, and they make it a 3-hour Bad Bunny show. Monday Night Bunny. If they make it Monday Night fucking Bunny, and he wins all the he goes Kurt Angle, TNA on their asses, and he wins all the fucking titles, and he flaunts that shit around like it's his ice, right? He even gets the 24/7 24/7 title made into a grill, and you see it and it flashes 24/7 on his teeth every time he opens his mouth to rap. Even if he did all that shit, it wouldn't fucking matter. You know why? Because if the show that surrounds Bad Bunny is shit, it'll still hemorrhage viewers. Yeah. Look at Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the best thing going on SmackDown right now. Still super low ratings. Look at 1995. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, tearing up the matches they were in. Still lowest ratings in the company's history for a while. Doesn't fucking matter. If the rest of the show is shit, if the rest of the show doesn't keep you invested, that's why Tyson worked. Because he was a huge mainstream star that everybody was actually invested in. There were news crews following him. People were actually invested in the goings on of Mike Tyson. People aren't invested in more than just his fans. Bad Bunny is only known to his fucking fans. Oh, he sold gives a shit. It's not gonna equal ratings. And when they tuned in to see the show that Tyson was on, they stayed because they liked what they saw. That's not gonna happen with Bad Bunny. Spent enough time on that motherfucker. All right. U.S. title match. Morrison versus Riddle versus Lashley. This was pretty well done, actually. Overall, for what they were trying to do. Now, Lashley was dominant for most of this match, which is good. Some fucking Morrison and Riddle stuff after they had to double up on Lashley, which was good. We got to say, hey kids, did you know that John Morrison was a talented wrestler? Yeah! I know you forgot, because every time you see John Morrison, he's dicking around with The Miz. I know you forgot. I know they didn't remind you in that Fatal 4-Way match, because there was a whole lot of nothing going on. But he's a talented wrestler when he's allowed to fucking wrestle. And he was allowed to wrestle with Riddle here. Matt Riddle. Holy shit! And it was good! Oh my god! Too bad he ended up losing the match, though. Morrison barely hit Starship Pain, and this is another thing. So, there was a spot, they had Lashley in the corner. Matt went up for the floating bro, and he basically missed it. And Morrison went up for Starship Pain, and he basically missed it and got a 2 count and was surprised that he got a 2 count from it. Let me explain something to you. As much as I just credited John Morrison and was like, oh, John Morrison is a talented wrestler. John Morrison, I can't recall the last time John Morrison fucking actually hit Starship Pain. I can't recall. Most of the time, he whiffs it completely. Because the guys are, and I'm sure I know what happens. He tells the guy, hey, stay right here. And, this is where you should be for Starship Pain. And they go along with it. They're like, oh, okay, this is where I should be for Starship Pain. Forgetting that, you know what? He fucking whiffs that shit all the goddamn time. All the goddamn time. So, maybe go out a little bit further so that he actually connects with you, or at least looks like he connects with you. Maybe. Just maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Might as well do Bad Bunny. Hashtag Bad Bunny. Alright, now you got my full undivided attention. But the match is relatively good. Morrison barely hit Starship Pain. He goes outside to fuck with MVP, grabs the crutch, comes back in to swing it at Lashley. Lashley ducks it and hooks him into Starship Pain. Then here comes Matt Riddle. Crutch. Lashley goes to the outside. 2 crutches, actually. Lashley goes to the outside. He hits the Bro Derek, which is a goofy name for the move, but also is not a very good move, let alone a finisher. Oh, you're so nitpicky about the finishers. Yeah, because I want him to look good. But whatever. I'll excuse it because Morrison was in another match before. That's a weak excuse, but I'll give it to it. And Matt Riddle wins, which I'm surprisingly fine with if they do the right thing. I was absolutely fine with the way Bobby Lashley lost the title. He didn't eat the pin. And he was dominant in the match. If it means he's going for the big strap. Moving on. Women's tag team match. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler versus Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. This match is lazy booking, and they didn't even do the lazy booking right. Earlier on, I talked about how good it was that they did what they did with fucking the fucking SmackDown Elimination Chamber. If they were going to do it right. Have a chamber match, have Roman come out at the very end, beat the shit out of whoever won to show his dominance. Don't particularly like that story, but they at least did the right thing by it. They didn't do the right thing by this. They didn't. If you're going to have this match, the whole point of this match is to seed the seeds, is to sow the seeds of ill will and animosity between Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair for their upcoming WrestleMania match. The entire point is to build tension between them. That's the only reason why you do this. That's the only reason why Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker were tag team champions at one point. That's the only reason why, what was it, John Cena and Shawn Michaels were tag team champions? That's the only reason. That's the only reason you do this. That's the only reason you pull out this old chestnut every so often. That's the only reason you do it. Hell, I think that was supposed to be the reason that they did it with, or at least it seemed like that should have been the reason why they did it with Charlotte and Asuka. But that didn't even get the payoff it should have got. So, here, they did the exact same shit. No payoff. Nia Jax starts the match, and wow, does Nia Jax suck. Wow, is Nia Jax just a terrible professional wrestler. Like, she's not good. She's not good at her job. Starts the match. Hold on. And wow, does Nia Jax suck. Hold on. Wow, is Nia Jax. Hold on. This just a terrible professional. There we go. Yeah, she is. She's not a good professional wrestler at all. Hold on. Let me get to some of these. Let's see. Heck, Edge's first match in the WWE when it was the WWF, he injured his opponent, if I'm correct. You are correct! You are 100% correct! It was, what was it? It wasn't even a Shotgun Saturday Night. It was a fucking, like, Superstars or some shit. And it was, I think, Miguel Perez from Los Boricuas. It was either Miguel or Jose from Los Boricuas. He fucking injured the guy. Running tope up and over, he did the flip tope and injured the guy's neck. Injured the fucking guy's neck. You are 100% correct. Yes, and ever since then, ever since Edge, at the very least, when he was in tag team, when Edge was single, he was injury prone. He was fucking injury prone the entire time. You're 100% correct about that. Yes, good memory. Bad Bunny is just cash grab, bro. Vince also tried to get anything that's trending, and it never sticks. What about Pitbull, though? Oh, what about Pitbull? You mean Mr. Worldwide? Oh, I'd be shocked if we don't see him at WrestleMania again this year. I was shocked when he wasn't. I was shocked when we don't see Mr. Worldwide. Mr. Worldwide, woo! I don't give a shit about fuck off, Mr. Worldwide. But yeah, and now, cash grab for who? Cash grab for Bad Bunny, because I'm sure he's getting paid for this. But it's not going to equal anything for WWE. And here's the other aspect of that. WWE doesn't give a fuck about it anyway. They're making their money from NBC. They're making their money from Fox. They give fuck number zero about ratings anymore. Because that's not where their money is. That's not where their revenue is. Their revenue is in these TV deals. And TV is so fractured right now that they're not really, and really the only thing that keeps them even afloat, that keeps them profitable, is the fact that it's, for the networks at least, cheap, live television every week. New content every week. WWE is essentially a podcast for NBC and Fox. That's all they are. They're just a block on a time schedule that is cheaper than 2 dramas or 3 dramas or 6 sitcoms, which would be the time frame that they have. Much cheaper. Much cheaper. Because all they have to do is pay one licensing fee to WWE as opposed to paying everybody on the staff and having contract negotiations with them. And this guy wants $1 million an episode and they want $5 million an episode and all this other horse shit. No. That billion is fucking peanuts for Fox. That money is fucking peanuts for NBC Universal. For a cheap weekly new content, fucking they don't give a shit. You heard Bow Wow's trying to join the WWE as a wrestler. I have. Here's the thing about Bow Wow. My former co-star, Bow Wow, because I don't know if you know this, but I was in Like Mike. Yes, I was an extra in the stands. We went to the Great Western Forum down here in Inglewood, California. My class and I, we stayed all fucking day. We were up in the rafters. You probably can't see us on screen. And his stunt double was a better basketball player than him. His stand-in was a better basketball player than him. But we're not going to go there. Let's see. I wish WWE would unify both tag team champions. Me too. Because they don't have enough people in the divisions for the rapid pace that they keep now. They don't. They just don't. They have too much time to kill with 2 shows. They're going to run with... They have, like... The fact that they even have a women's tag team division is fucking stupid because they don't have enough women for a tag team division. They keep having to haul in single people for these makeshift bullshit teams after they break up real teams like the Iconics. I should be running that place. People force Christian Miracle to shut down his comments section when they were basically telling him to kill himself when he said rap is trash. He doesn't like rap. Who's Christian Miracle? Lana and Naomi should face the tag team champions tonight. Sure, why not? I'm sure they're not doing anything. What's going on with Rhea Ripley? I don't know what's going on with Rhea Ripley, but I know that she's into the brothers. Shouts. Now, if only we got some news on Toni Storm on that front, because baby girl's been eating some biscuits in her quarantine time, and I ain't mad at it at all. It's a little soft. It's a little, it ain't muscular, but it ain't something to grab onto. I ain't mad at it. Holla at me, baby. Anyway, I think the women's tag match was for Nia Jax to do the my whole spot again. Nia Jax can call her leg drop the whole drop. Ugh. Let's talk about this match. Nia Jax sucks, and there was a weird energy in this match entirely. It almost seems like everybody else in this match knew that Nia Jax sucked, and she fed her terrible energy to everybody. Yeah, Bianca Belair smacking her ass at Nia Jax as a taunt over and over again. Don't do that. Like, it ain't sexy, it ain't cool, it ain't hip, it ain't mocking, it isn't. Don't do that. Like, it looked as stupid, almost as stupid as Dolph Ziggler doing this shit to his hair over and over and over again, or Maurice doing this over and over. Don't. If you got a thing that you think is cool, do it once. Don't do it over and over and over again. Because even if it is cool, and neither of those were, you kill it by doing it too much. But there was a weird energy in this match, and most of this match was either boring or sloppy throughout the entire thing. It was either boring or sloppy / slow through the entire fucking thing. They were doing spots. They seemed out of place, out of fucking nowhere. What the fuck ever. Reggie comes in with a distraction for the title retention. Why? Why are we still continuing? Listen, now is the time we should be focusing on the Sasha Bianca thing. We shouldn't still be having remnants of fucking Carmella, who you've ruined by taking away her viciousness at the Rumble. But you shouldn't. You should now be Tony Thick. Hell yeah, Tony Thick. Thicky Storm. You should be focusing on Bianca and Sasha. You should be building the tension there. You should have one of them lose the match for the other one. If you're going to do this stupid fucking thing, if you insist on doing this stupid crap, have Sasha eat the fall, have Bianca be mad, or have Bianca... I don't want Bianca to eat the fall. I don't. But have her eat the fall so that Sasha can turn on her, because Sasha is, again, like Kevin Owens, better as a heel. And not a good face. Better as a heel. Better as a heel. And especially at a moment like this, where Bianca could use the assist and use the rub at WrestleMania, have Sasha be a heel. You just turned her. You never should have turned her. Fine. Let's go over here to the comments. Let's see. Rhea Ripley needs to come back as a heel. Maybe. What the heck are they doing with Asuka? Who the fuck knows? There was a rumor that she was still competing against Lacey Evans tonight, and I didn't see that. I watched the pre-show, and I didn't see that. It wasn't on the main show. I don't know if somebody at WWE's Twitter just has been lacking for a couple weeks, or if they finally, or if it is a work and they're like, oh, right, if she's pregnant, she can't be in a match and take bumps and physical stuff. Oh, we don't know what pregnant women are like or do. Either way, Ember Moon needs to turn heel for real. Ember Moon needs to remember who the fuck she is. Here's the problem with Ember Moon. And there's been a problem. All we got left is the Raw Elimination Chamber match. Here's the problem with Ember Moon. And this has been a problem for years. Ember Moon became too human. Ember Moon was this kind of weird, I don't even know if you call her goth, the character in NXT, you know, and the howling and all this, and her gear and everything. Cool, fine, I was into it. Love me some Ember Moon. Then she kept doing all this goofy shit and killing her gimmick by going on all these up, down, down shows. And hey, y'all, I'm just Athena and I love video games and shit, y'all. Now you're just like Jim Cornette would say, fucking cosplaying. Who the fuck are you? I can't believe in who you are. And you're talented. You have the fucking talent. All you needed at the time was to either commit to the gimmick or change the fucking gimmick. But instead, she still has the gimmick in the name and is doing all this goofy shit. And then, and in none of that time had she learned how to do a promo. Do you remember that promo when she came back? Oh, that was fucking awful. That was fucking awful and rambly and terrible. It was like she was cutting a promo in her room when she was 15. With no experience in the business and no experience on how to cut a concise promo that has a point. And that's a shame. I love me some Ember Moon. Ember Moon has talent. Ember Moon can be big if Ember Moon figures out who the fuck she is. I told you, bro, months WWE was gonna make Sasha and Bianca as a tag team. Fine. But you have them as a match at WrestleMania that people want to see. Build the tension. Build the fucking tension to that. Please and thank you. That's your job. Let's see. Ember Moon new gimmick is kind of stale to me. No shit. No shit. Because she doesn't know who the fuck she is. Riddle is going to be a boring champion. I don't know. It depends on what they let him do. It depends on the kinds of matches that he has. If they let him have championship caliber matches, maybe not. Maybe not. Cross is starting to be more human in NXT too. Stop it. Stop it. Fucking stop it. You want me to believe this guy's a monster? Keep him a fucking monster. At least for a while. At least for a while. The Undertaker was a zombie for 10 fucking years. At least for a while. And then, if you want to have them slide into something else, make it major. Make it make sense. Ember Moon and Shotzi are still together. Probably. Riddle's going to be an RVD 2.0. Hopefully. And hopefully they do it right this time. Hopefully they feed into all that shit. Hopefully they feed into him smoking weed. Hopefully they don't fuck it up. Anyway, Raw Elimination Chamber match. Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and AJ Styles. Much better build and much better layout for this match than the SmackDown match. Much better. This match kept my attention a whole lot better than the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match. And it was planned out better. Drew McIntyre was dominant throughout this whole thing. Good for him. So glad that Drew McIntyre was dominant in this match because he needs to be shown as a strong champion, particularly after having to sell for Oldberg. Particularly for having to sell and put over and pretend like he respected the fucking 50-year-old, the fucking midlife crisis guy who could barely walk without tripping and falling and giving himself a fucking concussion. Good for him. So glad that he was actually dominant in this match. Kofi Kingston with a shock pin on Randy Orton was a good thing. Then Orton goes nuts and RKOs everybody was a good thing as well. All this stuff, thumbs up. Don't forget to thumbs up the session, and don't forget to share it as well while we're on the subject. AJ Styles then uses Omos to break the plexiglass to enter the Elimination Chamber out of turn. Like he escapes out the back end, and as Randy Orton is leaving, he comes in through the door and gets 2 counts somehow. Why? Again, we're talking about details. And the announcers tried to explain it, but they couldn't. This is the second pay-per-view in a row where the referee made a stupid fucking decision and it didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and it took me out of the fucking show. Tell him the pin doesn't count. He can lay on top of Jeff Hardy all he wants to. Don't count the fucking pin, because he's not legally in the match yet. His pod didn't open when it was supposed to open. They've done this with Rumble people in the past, where people enter the Rumble when they weren't supposed to enter. I think they kicked somebody out one of these fucking Rumbles. I can't fucking remember. But there's supposed to be rules, right? Even in this match where there are no rules. The one rule is you're not in the match until you're in the match. That's the one fucking rule. The one rule is you're not in the match if you're in the match. And okay, fine. You get in the match and you can do damage, but you can't pin anybody until you're supposed to be officially in the match. That's a stupid fucking decision. Anyway. Again, better laid out match overall. Drew dominating is very, very good. And again, this is the other issue that I had with the other Elimination Chamber match. We could have done with quicker pins. We didn't need everybody in the Elimination Chamber at the exact same time. Especially because they all clustered up like quails. As good old JR would say, all clustered up in the corner like quails. And waiting for somebody to COVID come off with the trust dive. Same way they did in the SmackDown one, where they're all clustered up like coils for Kevin Owens to come off. You don't need... First off, the Elimination Chamber is padded. You're not going to injure yourself falling like that. Secondly, you don't need every fucking body to be involved in that. If you insist on doing something like that, you really only need 2 guys, and really you only need 1. You really only need 1 to catch the guy. Or, don't catch him at all. Surprise! It's fucking wrestling. It's not ballet. How about you don't fucking catch him at all? Certainly don't have everybody bunched up for a fucking dive that's not necessary. And also, Kofi Kingston is 50 pounds soaking wet with a brick in his pocket. How is the trust dive, even if it's off the top of a pod, gonna wipe out 4 fuckers who are built like Sherman tanks, especially, particularly Drew and Sheamus? Get the entire fuck out of here. But anyway, by the way, there's another thing. In the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match, there were a lot of guys that were just staring at each other, waiting for the next spot. They were lying down selling, and they were staring. And they were looking this way and looking that way and staring at the referee. Looking 1, 2 at the referee. Listen, you guys don't have a crowd anymore. So there's not even the excuse of I couldn't hear the 3 counts, which is a stupid fucking excuse. You can feel it. I've been in a wrestling ring. You can fucking feel the shit. But okay, let's say that. Stop looking at the fucking referee counting. Stop it. And this Raw one was way better put together. I don't know who put the Raw side together, but way better than SmackDown. Entirely better. The little fucking details. The Kofi had a decent sequence with Sheamus at the end, except for his second fucking trust fall, which Sheamus caught. Because again, he's 50 pounds soaking wet with a brick in his pocket. There's not much difference between that one off the top rope and the one off the pod with 4 fuckers. Psychology. As good as the agenting was on this match compared to SmackDown, still little details. Still little details. If they can fix these little details, these things mean a lot. They actually mean a lot, and they actually add up to a lot. And they actually help keep people invested in what they're watching. They help suspend disbelief. And when they don't happen, they cut the suspension of disbelief immediately. And you need more people to watch. You need, or you should need. Essentially, you're supposed to need. Anyway. Kofi's gone after a kick. Sheamus kicks Drew, but then gets up and catches a phenomenal forearm. 1, 2, 3. He's gone. Drew and AJ in the thing. AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm into a Claymore, which was good. Very good spot. Very good spot. I'm liking Drew's in-ring work for the most part as champion here. I think, and this has been said before, one of the biggest victims of this pandemic era is Drew McIntyre. Because he doesn't get to do this shit in front of people. And he still has to take shit from Vince McMahon. He still has to be the company boy. At least he thinks he has to be the company man. Right? Doing fucking, shaking hands and kissing babies and sucking up to Goldberg and shit. When he should say no. He should veto it. He should say, no, I'm not working with Goldberg. Because it's not a big payday or any fucking thing. Like, it's not going to really affect your payday. It's going to make him look weak. But luckily in this one, he was able to come back and look strong at the end of it. Even and especially when Bobby Lashley comes in at the very, very end as he's celebrating and spears him and takes him out. Very good job. I was applauding that. I was like, yes, this is what I was talking about. I'm fine with Lashley losing the U.S. Championship as long as he's about to make his way at least to a program for the WWE Championship. Fantastic. At WrestleMania, then the Miz's music hits. Fuck. Fuck me. Just fuck me. Keith Lee needs to go back to NXT. No, Keith Lee needs to get his wind up. Can you see WWE push Keith Lee like a main event champion? At some point, when he gets his cardio up, sure. People jump to Keith Lee's aid when Keith Lee had to walk around in the fucking shirt and skirt when he came up to the main roster. Because Vince just saw him as a fat ass. I can understand why Vince saw him as a fat ass. Because even in NXT, and I was saying this then too, Keith Lee was showing signs of being winded a lot sooner than he used to. And I was saying this when he was in NXT. If he goes to the main roster, that's going to be a problem. And sure as shit, why don't people listen to me? I'm fucking right all the time. Why don't you listen to me? Why am I not the biggest wrestling content creator here on fucking YouTube? Why isn't everybody just subscribed to my shit right now? I'm fucking correct about every goddamn thing. Always and forever correct. I am always and forever correct. And yet you don't fucking listen to me. And yet here we are all these months later, and sure as shit, Keith Lee came up to the main roster, started looking winded immediately. Immediately. Had to wear a shirt. Had to get a shitty theme song. Got taken out. Got moved down the roster. Got treated like another ham and egger. Even despite his amazing spot that he had in last year's Rumble. Somewhere between that Rumble and this year, it's probably the coronavirus, but also probably Keith Lee can do shit. Like even in the pandemic era that we're in, I'm sure they got treadmills at the fucking PC. You don't like to run treadmills? Run the fucking rope. I hate running. I have flat feet. But I'll run the ropes all fucking day long. That shit is fun and easy on the flat of my feet. Easy on my arches. I would, if I had a ring, oh my God, you'd think I was anorexic. The best thing for me right now is the fucking elliptical, and I hate that. I'm fine with that. It's better than the treadmill. But for God's sake, Keith Lee, hell, you got a new fiance. Why don't you get her on that Kanye West workout and work it out? Work it out. What are you doing? You got a fiance in your house. You better bust that shit out. You know how many calories you burn? Just, especially if you do it right. Some candlelight everywhere. Throw some fucking Marvin on. Shit, the fuck are you doing? You got a home cardio system in your house. What the fuck are you doing? And this is your job we're talking about. Listen. Again, Keith Lee's a talented guy. He's been in the business for a while. By all reports, he's a really good guy. He just needs to get his fucking cardio up. His ring cardio up. Ring cardio is completely different than cardio. But cardio can help with ring cardio. Particularly if you do different kinds of ring cardio. Matter of fact, don't even necessarily do running. You know what you do? You know what Keith Lee should be doing? Keith Lee should be doing football drills. Because football, outside of MMA or wrestling, football is the closest sport in terms of what you do, the kinds of movements that you carry into the ring. Football is the closest one. Football helps you with foot dexterity, helps you with balance, helps you with being in the right place at the right time, helps you with that explosive energy. It helps you, lots of short bursts of energy are expelled and then pauses, pretty similar to professional wrestling. If he doesn't get in a pool or whatever the fuck, he needs to start doing some football drills. He needs to get with a football coach. Get his wind up. And I'm not talking about a line coach. I mean, he needs to get with like a running back coach. He needs to get with a back coach. Get his shit tight. What else? The Miz probably won't have the title that long like he did in 2011. Correct. And he shouldn't. Keith Lee needs to join the Hurt Business. Then I can see him as WWE champion. I don't know if there's room for him in the Hurt Business just yet. Keith Lee needs to find his own footing. And I don't think, and the Hurt Business is full enough, and they're trying to fuck that up anyway. So Keith Lee doesn't need to be in the Hurt Business. Maybe down the line, but he doesn't need it right now. Miz comes in, cashes in at the end after Lashley does the damage to Drew. The only way this works creatively is if Bobby Lashley immediately takes the title off of Miz and then gives Drew something to chase for into WrestleMania. It's a short build-up to do that. I would rather they prolong that and have Drew be more of an underdog leading up to it. But fuck it. If they're going to go with this shitty angle, and they didn't need to, because first off, Miz already lost his fucking title at TLC. Oh, but Morrison can't... Fuck off. He already lost his title. You made a mistake by giving it to Otis. You then rectified that mistake by taking it off of him, but then you fucked up again by putting it on Miz. Then you rectified that mistake by having him cash in at TLC. Then you fucked that shit up by giving it right back to him. Then you rectified that mistake by being like, okay, maybe we got to take the case off Miz again. Then you fucked that up again by giving him the title. Ugh. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about when I say that WWE doesn't give a fuck about the actual wrestling product. They give a fuck about making money from these side deals. They don't give a fuck about wrestling. And that's a shame. That's a sin and a shame. Miz is dropping the belt on Monday. That's the only way to do it. The only way to do it, have Miz drop it not to Drew. Because Drew will want to do his rematch clause. Do they officially still do away with the rematch clause? I don't remember. Or maybe they are hoping that we don't remember. Either way, have him drop it to fucking Lashley. Or even better, not even drop it. Yeah, drop it. because they can't give it away. They've stuck to that precedent from the $1 Million Man days with Andre. So have Miz strike up, have it be a deal, a backdoor deal that fucking MVP did with Miz to be like, hey, I'll have Lashley rough up whoever wins the Elimination Chamber for you. You cash it in just like you did. All I ask is for a match for my boy. Done deal. Here's what will probably happen, though. What will probably happen. Oh, God. Oh, God. What will probably happen is the... Fuck. Fuck. What will probably happen is the Miz will probably keep the title until Mania. And he'll live up to his end of the bargain with Lashley for WrestleMania. And then Drew will somehow, some way, get into the Mania match, either by his rematch clause or he'll win something. We still got Fastlane? Fuck, I think we still got Fastlane. Fuck. Fuck. Oh, I hate wrestling so much. So instead of Bobby Lashley, so they're gonna Becky Lynch it. They're gonna Becky Lynch this shit up. Instead of giving us the one-on-one title match for the Mania main event that we actually want, Bobby Lashley one-on-one with Drew McIntyre, they're gonna keep the Miz in it. He's gonna take the Charlotte role. And fuck. And it's gonna be a triple threat match. The Miz versus Lashley versus Drew. And Drew will have to overcome the sneakiness of the Miz, probably being helped out by Morrison. And the power of Lashley, probably still being helped out by MVP, even if the Hurt Business collapses between now and then. Ugh. Which, by the way, shoots themselves in the foot because they don't have a rematch afterwards for Backlash. Or they just repeat it like they used to in the old days. I hate wrestling. I hate wrestling sometimes. I hate wrestling sometimes. I really hate wrestling sometimes. I really hate wrestling sometimes. Poor Otis lost Money in the Bank, tag team partner now in a pointless tag team. It's not pointless. Fucking Chad Gable gets a paycheck. That's the point. Chad Gable continues to make money and pay his rent. That's the only point to that tag team. And waste his career. Like, his career is dead. Like, he's unfortunately in the Tucky role now. Yay! The Miz probably won't have the belt like long as he did. The Miz has become a joke now. And he's WWE champion. Makes no sense now. Not in this timeline. Miz does not deserve the world title at all. Maybe around 2016, whenever he was the hottest thing, but not now. WWE. I don't even think it was 2016. I think it was longer than that. I think it was fucking 2011 or whatever. Whenever he main evented that Mania, was when he was doing his best work as champion. 2016 was his IC run, and that promo on Talking Smack was the best work he's ever done in his career. But it still wasn't really great. I've always said this about The Miz, and I will always say this about The Miz until something changes. He is a fake wrestler. I have never believed The Miz is a wrestler. I've always believed The Miz as this guy from Real World, and I've never even seen Real World. But I've always seen him as some reality show guy pretending to be a wrestler, and somehow getting away with it. Because overall, his matches are nothing to write home about. They don't necessarily suck, but they're nothing to write home about. He sounds like he's faking it. Nothing he ever says is authentic sounding, promo-wise or whatever. The closest thing we had was, again, that Talking Smack segment. And again, I still saw holes in that, but it was better for him. Yeah, he's always been this guy pretending to be a wrestler. So I've never bought any of this shit. And then recently he's become such a fucking joke with Morrison. And actually, that was the biggest cancer on Morrison. was that Morrison had to be fucking teamed up with this guy and made into a joke after WWE coveted him so much because they didn't want him over in AEW. Now, mind you, if he went to AEW, it probably would have been worse, but he wouldn't have been, maybe he would have been making the same money. Who the fuck knows? Tony Khan's a billionaire. Who the fuck knows? Anyway, Miz doesn't need the belt anymore. Give Morrison, Lashley, Lee, or Priest a rub at least. I still don't understand the Damian Priest love. Again, he's aight. He doesn't seem like anything special to me. He doesn't seem like anything special to me. Lashley, yes. Keith Lee, again, Keith Lee needs to work on his cardio, on his in-ring cardio. Morrison, they have to totally rebuild Morrison if he's going to be worth a damn. They have to overhaul him. And by overhaul him, I mean get him immediately away from The Miz. Get him immediately away from this hey, ho, ho, horse shit. Which they won't. Oh, wait a minute. That's not what's going to happen. Oh, I just saved myself. That's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen at WrestleMania is Damian Priest and Bad Bunny versus Miz and Morrison. So we are going to get the one-on-one match. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Because I forgot, they got to have Bad Bunny on the WrestleMania match because Bad Bunny's going to bring in all these viewers, you guys. Oh, thank God. Oh, I just saved my night. I just saved my night. Oh, thank God. 2021 is already starting off bad already, bro. Yeah, it is. I hate wrestling sometimes too, bro. Yeah, me too. I just saved my fucking night. So, okay, great. Morrison and Miz versus Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, which is going to be the, popcorn break. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Okay. Whew. Whew. Oh, I almost lost my fucking mind. Yeah, so that was Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Overall, mixed bag. If I'm looking over these matches again, best matches are, ironically enough, Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title because they did it properly and it was not long at all. It was the exact length it was the exact time it needed to be. Did the goal it was supposed to do. It did what it was supposed to do. It did what it was supposed to do. U.S. title match had its moments, not bad. And the Raw Elimination Chamber match was actually not. So really, everything else sucked. Kickoff match sucked. The SmackDown Elimination Chamber match sucked. Bad Bunny segment sucked. So we have the U.S. title match, which is Raw. The Raw Elimination Chamber. Really, and if you don't count the Bryan versus Roman match, which, was barely a match, really the only two shining parts of this pay-per-view, ironically enough, came from the worst show, Monday Night Raw. Who'da fucking thunk it? Who'da fucking thunk it? Why didn't Bad Bunny save Drew from losing the belt? I don't know. Bad Bunny's Hulk Hogan. Bad Bunny is the next coming to Tito Santana, according to Wrestling Internet. Bad Bunny is the fucking man. Bad Bunny is, you're just all kinds of xenophobic if you don't understand that Bad Bunny is the best motherfucker around. Did I mention? Somebody asked me about Bow Wow. So, the thing with Bow Wow, I'm okay with Bow Wow because I was talking about the fucking, like Mike. This is like the How Do We Even Get Here podcast, which you can check out every Thursday here on YouTube. tinyurl.com/getheretube is where you go for the How Do We Even Get Here podcast that drops Thursday. So the thing with Bow Wow is he's going through training. I imagine, Rikishi's not going to take it easy on him just because he's some kind of fucking celebrity. Rikishi's going to work him out. I know some guys who train with Rikishi. He's going to work him out. I don't know how he would earn his stripes. He certainly ain't going to NXT, and he's probably not doing any fucking shows anywhere because there aren't any indie shows really to do. But if there are, he's going to earn. I don't think he'll just jump into it like any other mark. I think he'll likely take the David Arquette route, not with the blood and guts matches or whatever, but I think he'll actually. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually takes it seriously and actually does the shit. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. But if he does, fantastic. But if he doesn't, he doesn't. And he may not even actually be a wrestler. He may end up just as a manager, because I don't think Bow Wow is that big. I think Bow Wow, I don't know how tall Bow Wow is, but I don't know that he's that big. I know he's not like super muscular. How tall is Bow Wow? 5'7". Yeah, no. So yeah, he's only an inch taller than me. So I don't see him doing a whole lot of wrestling. A lot of wrestlers are smaller now, but unless he bulks up, I don't see him doing a whole lot of wrestling. Oh, also, I forgot to mention in the women's tag match, fucking Reggie's suit looked like shit. Where was his mama? Because I don't know any black mama that would let their son go on national, worldwide fucking television in a suit that tight or that small. Get the fuck out of here with these fitted suits, whatever. That motherfucker was in his suit from when he was 10 years. They were high water up to his knees. Oh, they were shorts. It was a fashion statement. Fucking shitty statement. That was a terrible fucking suit he had on. Holy shit. Don't ever come out with that shit again. Who okayed that? Who let that go? Who the fuck let that go? That motherfucker came out there in a suit that he looked like he washed himself. Ew. Bow needs WWE money to pay child support. LOL. Hell, he might still be making like Mike. I don't even know. He might be on that Soulja Boy tip, and I think Bow Wow has cash. Who the fuck knows? Anyway, that was Elimination Chamber for this year. Mixed bag of a show at best. At the very best. Oof. Oh, fuck, I hate wrestling sometimes. I fucking hate wrestling sometimes. And shit like this, this was the other part of why I didn't necessarily want to do a live stream after this. Was because I thought I would hate it. And ironically enough, I ended up liking TLC more than I liked this show. Oof. And the Rumble. The Rumble wasn't that good. The Rumble was another mixed show. We got a mixed bag. WWE starting their 2021 shows off with mixed bags. Super fucking mixed bags. Ugh. And then we still got fucking Fastlane, which will be over on Peacock, I think, which will be a goddamn train wreck when that happens, because Peacock is a shitty UI. And then we got Mania eventually, which, so not necessarily looking. As far as wrestling is concerned, as far as I'm concerned with wrestling, absolutely, because I'll be watching old school Raws if I'm watching the network at all. All right. That's it for me for this live stream. I'm out of here. Like, share, subscribe. How Do We Even Get Here podcast. Every Thursday we're on all the major streaming platforms, podcasting platforms. Just look up How Do We Even Get Here. You'll find us. We drop new episodes every Thursday. Come back here. I'll be dropping reviews and stuff. I've started getting back on that train. And in the meantime, the in-between time, cheers.